The movie opens up with the introduction of our main character, Xia Shiling, a beautiful young woman who is currently studying at college. In the background, Shiling mentions her high IQ and extraordinary esports skills, which have led her to win a couple of online tournaments. Moreover, she is also good at karate. Despite having a lot of skills, Shiling states that she is unable to earn enough money and is currently doing a part-time job at a cafe near her college. Eventually, she also mentions her boyfriend named Mr. Rabbit, who lives in the USA. On the other hand, there is Zhang, a tall and handsome young man who makes almost every girl in the college swoon. He is good at sports and loves photography. One of Shiling's friends, Zhu, also likes Zhang and has covered the walls of her room with his pictures. Next, Zhang can be seen taking pictures of Shiling without her permission. It turns out he wants her to model for him. From Zhu, we learn that Zhang runs his own professional photography studio. In the following scene, we see Zhang on a date at the cafe where Shiling works. During his conversation with the girl, he is inappropriate and defensive. Angry, she throws a cup of water in his face before storming off. Seeing this, Shiling approaches Zhang, picks up his camera, and deletes all her photos. This pisses him off, so he complains to the cafe owner and gets her fired. After the incident, Shiling sits beside Zhang and angrily refuses his request to model for him. Then, she also throws a cup of coffee at him and leaves. The next day, when Shiling is trying to get a book from the library, Zhang can be seen secretly taking pictures of her. Because she is short, she's having difficulty reaching the book on the top shelf. Just then, Zhang arrives there and retrieves the same book she was looking for. This infuriates Shiling so much that she unleashes a powerful kick, sending him flying into a shelf. Afterward, Zhang returns home where he lives with his nerdy friend, Lin. Lin notices all the bruises on his friend's face and assures him that he will take revenge on whoever did that to him. Tired, Zhang points to the picture of Shiling, and Lin is shocked to learn that his friend got beat up by a girl. Nonetheless, using his nerdy IT skills, he gathers information on Shiling and hands it over to Zhang. Lin also reveals information about her boyfriend who lives in the US. Zhang doesn't show any interest in her boyfriend, but Lin gives him his details, stating that he may need it. The following day, when Shiling arrives at the basketball court for her karate training, she sees it occupied by Zhang and his basketball team. She tries to act tough and urges the guys to empty the court and let them practice. However, seeing her aggressive attitude, Zhang starts laughing and makes fun of her short stature. This makes Shiling angry and she challenges Zhang to a basketball match, saying that whoever loses will leave the court with her group. Zhang readily accepts the challenge, saying that he is not scared. In the next scene, the two are engrossed in their match, and surprisingly seeing them together, the rest of the students think they make a perfect couple. They take pictures of them and upload them all over the internet. In no time, the picture goes viral and everyone loves the contrast in their heights. Shiling's flatmate Zhu also sees it and rushes down to the court to watch the match. During the match, Zhang scores the first 3 baskets with ease, but to his dismay, Shiling comes back and despite her weird throws, ties the score. With Zhang missing his 4th attempt, he challenges Shiling to a karate face-off. The latter, who turns out to be a karate champion, immediately accepts. She then mentions that if he loses this challenge, he should never show her his face again. Zhang underestimates her and agrees to the stipulation, but right after the match starts, he is dominated by the tiny girl. He is eventually put out of his misery with an impressive arm lock. After the defeat, Zhang talks to his mate and decides to wear a fake cast around his arm and act like he is really hurt in order to make Shiling feel guilty about the whole thing. So, during the lunch break, he goes to the cafeteria and sits in front of Shiling, pretending his hand is broken. The plan works and she starts feeling bad for him. After class, when Shiling is about to go home, Zhang appears in front of her and asks her to drop him home first. Blaming herself for his condition, the poor girl immediately agrees. She then makes him sit on her bicycle and somehow manages to drop him off in front of his apartment. In the next scene, when Shiling is roaming around the park with her friends, a group of girls blocks her way and accuse her of torturing Zhang. Soon, a fight ensues between the two groups. When one of the violent girls is about to hit Shiling with a wooden pole, Zhang arrives there and takes the blow on his plastered hand. Due to this, the plaster breaks off, revealing his uninjured arm. Shiling realizes that she's been duped, so in a fit of rage, she kicks Zhang in the face, breaking his nose. The scene then shifts to the next morning, where Shiling has a dreadful dream about Zhang taking her on a long drive and falling from a cliff. Afraid, she suddenly wakes up and finds herself running late for class. She gets ready in no time and carefully enters her classroom through the window. Zhang tells her that it's his birthday and she should spend the day with him. However, Shiling ignores him and focuses on her studies. Annoyed, Zhang walks up to the teacher and complains to her about Shiling, saying that she broke his nose and is not willing to compensate him for the treatment. The teacher quickly recognizes them as the Min and Max couple and allows them to settle their misunderstanding outside the classroom. As soon as the two walk out, Shiling refuses to go with Zhang, but the latter grabs her hand and takes her to an amusement park. There, they take pictures and enjoy playing different games. Sometime later, Zhang even takes Shiling shopping and offers to pay for all the clothes. To his dismay, when he gives the cashier his credit card, it is declined, humiliating him in front of Shiling. Here it is revealed that Zhang's dad is against his passion for photography and has blocked all of his credit cards in anger. Feeling sorry for Zhang, Shiling treats him to a local restaurant. After they finish eating, Zhang is on his way to drop Shiling home when he accidentally bumps into another car. As expected, the car owner gets mad and starts arguing with Zhang, insisting he pay for the damages. Shiling gets out of the car and tries to help, and just then she notices an esports game badge on the owner's clothes. She excitedly tells him that she too plays the game and is a pro at it. Surprisingly, when Shiling reveals her ranking game ID, the owner says that he is a big fan of hers. He abruptly forgives Zhang, leaving him speechless. In the next scene, Zhang and Shiling are sitting on the stairs discussing their lives. In the middle of the conversation, Zhang suddenly confesses his love for her and asks her to be his girlfriend. However, a shocked Shiling rejects his proposal, making it clear that she is not interested in him and that she has a boyfriend. Zhang tries to plead with her that her boyfriend lives far away and that long-distance relationships don't typically work. But Shiling replies that despite the distance between them, she still loves her boyfriend and is happy with their relationship. Before walking away, she tells Zhang to never bring up the topic again. The following day, Shiling is at her apartment talking to her roommates and discussing her relationship with Zhang. In the meantime, one of her roommates, Lily, tells her that she and Zhang are not suited for each other for various reasons. When Zhu asks about those reasons, she mentions the height difference, saying that she cannot kiss Zhang, cannot reach the place where he keeps his belongings, and cannot even get a decent couple selfie. Furthermore, Lily also mentions the difficulties they would face trying to have sex and states that the perfect height gap between a couple is 12 centimeters. However, Lily's words don't even faze Shiling, as she mentions that she's not even interested in Zhang. Next, when Shiling is attending her class, Zhang comes and sits behind her and starts annoying her. He again asks her to model for him, and to his surprise, Shiling agrees. After this, the two can be seen taking pictures at different locations, with Shiling cooperating with Zhang and helping him capture decent photos. As the days pass, the two spend more and more time together and eventually become close. One evening, as they are having dinner in a cafe, Zhu notices them and assumes they are in a relationship. Afterward, when Shiling returns home, Zhu immediately confronts her for getting close to Zhang and begins tearing her room apart. She also accuses Shiling of dating two boys at once and playing with their feelings. Hearing this, Shiling gets angry and asserts that she is not interested in Zhang and has no feelings for him. However, Zhu does not believe her and walks out of the apartment into the night alone. In the following scene, we see Zhu at a pub where she meets Lin. As both of them are single, they confide their feelings and bond. Meanwhile, as Shiling is searching for her roommate at night, she gets a call from Zhu asking her to come to the basketball court as soon as possible. Sometime later, when Shiling reaches there, she finds herself surrounded by a group of performers who put on a stunning display for her. It is then revealed that everything was pre-planned by Zhang, along with Lin and Zhu. Zhang then approaches Shiling, asking him to give her a second chance to prove his love for her. However, to everyone's dismay, Shiling once again rejects him. She mentions that she cannot accept his proposal as she already has a boyfriend. She also gives hints about the 2D life she is living before walking away from the court. The next day, Zhang asks Lin to search for Shiling's boyfriend and track down his exact location. Within no time, Lin completes the task and hands over the exact location of Mr. Rabbit. Zhang then flies to the location, but finds a girl inside the house who is actually Mr. Rabbit's sister. Here, he learns that Mr. Rabbit died 2 years ago in a car accident. The sister tells Zhang that since then, Shiling must have been messaging herself from her brother's account to get the feeling that he is still with her. Zhang is shocked to learn this and decides to create a 2.5D world for Shiling, in which she can easily adjust and relive her memories. He then cuts contact with his friends and starts working on his project. On the other hand, Shiling's roommates talk to her and tell her about Zhang's absence. They also tell her that he disappeared because of her and that she should show some concern towards him. One day, Zhu and Lily bring Shiling to an exhibition and force her to go inside. To Shiling's surprise, when she enters the hall, she notices 2 and 3D pictures of herself all over the walls. There is also a holographic video of Zhang explaining that he has created this 2.5D gallery especially for her, and that he is well aware of her situation. Shiling gets emotional, touched by his gesture. She also realizes that she cannot spend her whole life clinging to the memories of a guy who has already left the world. In the final scene, Shiling can be seen running around the park in the rain, searching for Zhang. Crying, she stumbles on a rock and falls to the ground. Right then, Zhang arrives there and helps her back to her feet. As soon as she sees Zhang, she jumps on him and hugs him tightly. The movie ends with Xialing confessing her feelings for him and kissing him passionately.